seeing how everyone's shy. Got Columbus tonight. Obviously, want to finish off on a positive note. What are some of the things you're looking for from your hockey club?
Well, first of all, I think Columbus, they played excellent against Edmonton. They beat Calgary. They beat us. So it's a dangerous opponent. That's how we have to take the game. Last game before the break. So it's a focus game for our team.
You mentioned the other day that you kind of look at this break and you're looking forward to it. The guys that obviously aren't going to the All-Star game. You're on such a roll. Is there any concern that you might lose that momentum with that break?
No, I just think you lose momentum if the guys if they don't do the proper things over the 10 days. That's when you can lose momentum as a team. So hopefully we got a group that does the right things over these 10 games. We do need a break, though, a mental rest. But we got to make sure that our team does the right things during the break to keep the momentum, or whatever you call it.
Rick, you mentioned focus there, and I feel like that's something you've been pretty happy with the group for most of the season here. Is tonight almost like a test with the break coming up here in this type of game?
Yeah, I think every game you play is a test, a learning lesson. Yeah, our antennas are up. I mean, this is a good rush team with good young players that I thought for the most part, in Columbus, did a really nice job through the neutral zone against us. And, we got to adjust a few things. We talked about that today. So that's a focus level, our neutral zone against this team tonight. So I'm anxious to see how we do against them in the neutral zone.
With their first power play unit, having Pius Suter back there, what do you like about what he can bring to that group? I mean, you have so much skill there, and Pius is kind of feels like more of an all-around guy, but how do you fit him into that power play?
Like hockey IQ, I think he can adjust. I think when Millsy has a puck, we have a lefty in there. We can utilize that middle shot. And I think he's, even on his goals, his 3 goals, he was around people, and he was the free guy. Whether then 1 goal, Millsy went to the net, took 2 guys out. Where is he? He's right there. He's close to those guys. I think he's hockey IQ. I know he's a little frustrated. He's missed a couple. He's probably have another 5 goals the last 3-4 games. But I think getting these 3 goals might loosen him up a bit. But yeah, his intelligence, where to go at certain situations.
Just confirming lineup, Thatcher in goal tonight?
Yeah.
And then same.
Yeah.
Going into Christmas, you had so much hockey, games every other day,
Yeah.
No time to rest. Now obviously you had that long trip, but a little more time. How has the team handled this last month mentally, you think?
Well, I think they've handled it well in the sense that the results have been good. I think the one thing that we all believe that our game can be a little bit better for 60 minutes. But I do like a resiliency. That's a big part that we've learned over this month, hanging in there, not pushing all your chips in one period. Like we're hanging in there, even though we have a bad period. That's what I like about this team. Now, saying that, we do have to recognize we got to get our 60-minute hockey game up a little bit, to raise. We've risen the bar, right? So teams they're not taking us for granted, and you guys see it. We've had great first periods, and then for some reason that dip in the second. So we got some things we got to work on for those second periods. But overall, I just say the resiliency of this team and the learning of this last month has been good, and the results have been there. So it's not hurting us, but it can if we don't sharpen up.
And then just looking at this long break, I mean, that's going to be a challenge. Do you give the guys homework? Do they have things to think about when they're away?
Well, this is where you become I call them self-starters. You give them a game plan. We had a meeting today, last couple of days, with our strength coach, our sports science guy, about what you should try to do in these 10 days. Now they have to apply it. That's I think I'm glad some guys are go lie on the beach for a few days, but make sure you're doing the right things, because these next 10 days, with the momentum coming after this trip, we're on a long road trip, so. But I'm pretty confident that guys understand what the Canucks standard is, and what we expect for the next 10 days when they come back. But I definitely do. They need a break, 100%. They need a break from us.
Over here. Hey, Rick. I was just wondering, Columbus, two of the past 3 coaches have been first-time NHL head coaches.
Yeah.
You've recently gone through that experience, obviously. Just kind of wondering, kind of curious, what kind of things did you learn in your first stop that may have helped you in this one?
Yeah, I think the worst thing to do is go in and try to. There's obviously holes in any dikes in a hole, I call it, and you can't fix everything at once. You got to plug one hole at a time. And I think that's the biggest thing I learned. I remember my first 2 months in Arizona, I was trying to correct everything, and I was lost. And then I started to chip away. Okay, let's chip away at this. I'm a guy that likes going on the ice with players. Like, let's start with that. Let's start with our, D-zone coverage. Don't worry about the offense right now. I think if you just chip away with good practices, I think you have a better chance of developing players that way than trying to correct everything. It's impossible. So that's, whether it's advice, but I went through it.
Did it take you getting that second job to kind of learn, or kind of realize some of that stuff?
Yeah, but I think the Arizona experience, my first 2 months, I had some people say, "Hey, man, just worry about little things at a time." I needed somebody to tell me that. So, but yeah, it's definitely learned a million things. So I'm still learning today. I mean, I'm still learning from other people.
Importance of finishing off strong here before the break.
Yeah, it's we all know the same mindset going into this game. Everybody wants to. It's in human nature to get on with the break, right? But we've done a lot of good up to this point, and we'd hate to have a bad taste in our mouth going into the break. So we all know we need to be ready to just have another good start like we have been lately and go from there.
What stands out from the game in Columbus that you can learn from going into facing them tonight?
That was a game I tried to throw out of my memory forever, probably. No, it was a sloppy game. This team works really hard. They've been playing better lately, and if you make mistakes and turn the puck over, they're really good off the rush. So, we're worried about us. That was a week or two ago. We're not really worried about that anymore. We're certainly not taking this team lightly. They know that they can hurt you. So, we've been worried about our own game plan for the most part, no matter who we're playing against. So that's what we're concerned about.
What do you appreciate about Pius? He seems to, wherever he gets plugged in, he seems to be able to find a measure of success, and obviously a big night the other night, but what have you sort of picked up about his game?
Well, I've been there before, when I was, younger, I think younger than him, but, I was kind of a guy that just, kind of filled in, and, I guess versatile is a great thing. So he was, I really respect how he's basically getting called on most nights to play in a different position on a different line, and that's really hard to do when it comes to chemistry. So he's been, very consistent for us all season, and I'm happy for him to have some personal success last game.
He's going to carry it up. He's going to kick it out. We're going to drive through.
She's a super fan. Yeah. She's even got your jersey.
I know, I didn't know they sold those. Yeah.
Give me a hug. I love you.
Oh, yeah.
Generational talent. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.